There once was a man named Gold Roger who was king of the pirates. He had fame, power, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
Our perspective is yours for the taking, but you'll have to join us first. We left everything we debated at the Yonkō Table.
Ever since, pirates from all over the world set sail for the Grand Line, searching for the Yonkō Table, the table that will make their dreams come true. Yo, everyone. The Yonkō Table has set sail yet again into the penultimate episode of Season 3 of The Boys. That's right, everyone. We are gearing up for the season finale next week, and I'm excited for what we have laid out. Some people might not be as excited as I am today with The Boys episode 7, but with me as always is fellow Yonkō GrandMaster Hoop. GrandMaster, you called this episode mid?
I never called this episode mid. All I said was I think the twist was really good. And everything relatively else was, it was good, but, it wasn't like, So that's okay, though. This is the calm before the storm. I'm okay with this. Okay for a slow down week after the bombastic episode that was last week. I'm okay.
This episode was literally an onion, and we're going to peel back the layers so that you can see the light. This was more than just a normal calm. This was so much more, and you will see.
There's nothing for me to see. I understand what was good about this episode. You're trying to paint it like I didn't like it. I liked it.
If you didn't think this was phenomenal, you thought it was mid.
I didn't.
It has been so ordered by DrJaceAttorney.
All right. Let's do this then.
Let's do this. We pick up from last week where we left off with Starlight becoming a whistleblower of Vought. She came out, she had enough, and she basically outed all the secrets of Vought's dirty lies. She's basically said how much of the society that they control, along with how the superheroes are really just terrible people. I don't think she released the video yet, though, right? Of the Homelander and Queen Maeve in the airplane?
As far as we know, no, but it was enough to get the ball rolling. And they are playing PR patrol, trying to cover up the tracks of Starlight's message. Oh, she's a human trafficker. She just opened the Starlight home.
They shifted the blame.
Goodness gracious! Oh, it's so bad.
And you know what? Kudos to the Boys social media team. If anyone who's listening to this, if they haven't been keeping up with social media on the Boys, they actually made a Vought Industries Twitter page, and it's authenticated and everything, and it literally acts as if it is the Vought Industries from the Boys. So you have them sending out that corporate apologist statement that you see from so many companies, like they're addressing the whole Starlight fiasco, and they're like, the defamatory statements from Starlight, aka Annie January, is slanderous to say the least, and we will be taking legal action. It's just funny. I like that they're doing that. That's something so silly that they don't have to do, and they're taking a jab at a lot of these corporations, how you read a statement, an official statement from them, and it just feels like a shell. It sounds and reads like a shell, and I like it. They're making fun of it.
It's a great tie-in. I'm looking at it now.
You didn't read it? You haven't seen it?
No, I did read it before.
Okay.
I did read it. I'm just looking at it for like right now purposes. But it's a good tie-in. They lose themselves in their message, though. You can tell. Homelander just says, F it, I want to make her go under so bad, because it's really well written in the beginning, and it's got a good jargon, and then it goes down to her crazed jealousy boiled over into insurrectionist territory, and that's when you can tell this is, oh man, they're gonna feed their masses, and it shows for what else transpires in this episode. They know their target audience.
They do, and the demographic of the audience at the Homelander rally was very specific. I know they chose what they wanted to for that audience polling. But again, we're seeing a lot of these parallels between reality and what The Boys is depicting. This was a one-to-one comparison of a Trump rally for president. I mean, it's even a presidential election too for what's his name? Brat Singer. His last name's Singer, right?
I missed his name. But yeah, that it is what exactly that. And
literally the same, like, back and forth. You have Homelander, instead of addressing the problem of how real of a threat Soldier Boy is, he's going around just shifting the blame, saying, what about Starlight and her sex trafficking ring? Have y'all seen that? I like it. It's funny. We've been seeing it the last like 3 or 4 episodes, them just really painting parallels between what's happening in our country today and what's happening in The Boys. In The Boys extent, it's more of an exaggerated, silly take with superheroes and a villain going around and killing people, but you can make the connections. And I like how they haven't lost me yet. It's not preachy. It's not down your throat. It's there, and you make the connections.
I say people better have a kind of what's the word, third-party view glassings on and watching this, because
right,
if this is talking about you, you need to lift up your glasses.
What's going on?
Realize this is satirical from the jump, and
easily, right,
they are
right.
trying to make a point, and it's not necessarily so heavy, but it's just like, it's quite obvious. Yes, the parallels between this rally, and I mean, they're calling the Homelander rally. He's not even running for anything, but he is at the forefront, and he's just mudslinging, just trying to throw Starlight's name under. And then, you know, the fan base, you know, we're safe. There's no Soldier Boy. We're totally okay. And then they think and again, oh my gosh, it works on so many levels. Then you have that dude, Todd, who's
which one's Todd?
He's dating MM's ex-wife.
Oh, right. Oh my God.
Yes.
Go ahead.
You know, he sees her. He sees that they're at the rally.
MMC's his daughter and Todd at the rally.
Yes.
Right.
And I mean, I'm not gonna go ahead and give my experience of going to a Trump rally for research purposes. However, them things can get a little violent and a little rowdy and quite scary for certain individuals. And, you know, just being in their world, if you know Homelander and what he's really about, you're not safe there. He almost lost it.
He almost killed someone. I mean, right.
He thought he saw Soldier Boy in the crowd.
His eyes glowed up. I thought he was going to kill someone, and they had to pull like a PR stunt or something. I don't know. But no, I love that scene because, again, you can make the connections yourself. And I mean, if I was MM, I would be pissed too. He keeps telling Todd, I don't want my daughter going to these things. They are dangerous.
In the conversation they had, he's like, Starlight's a liar. Starlight lies.
You need to stop paying attention to the mainstream establishment media. They're brainwashing you. Look at independent sources and do your own research.
He's like, what are you fucking stupid, Todd? Homelander's lying. Like, they're all lying. He's like, they can't all be lying. They're all lying.
They're all lying. I'm trying to be her father, Todd. Well, someone's gotta be.
Oh, tried it.
He tried it. He tried it. He got it. He tried it. He got it. Good.
But then the look in her face.
It hurt.
Oh, gosh darn it. It's terrible.
It's a mix.
Yeah, terrible little predicament MM's in. You can't win.
You can't. And I mean, it's nice to see at least that I forget her name. MM's ex-wife.
I think it's Monique.
Monique.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that she was somewhat on that side as well. She didn't know that Todd took the daughter out to a rally.
Yeah, no.
So she was like, "Yo, you didn't tell me that you took my daughter to one of these things," because MM likely tells her the type of things Homelander has done.
Yes.
And the type of
Oh,
person
she
he is.
knows about his past with Soldier Boy as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I would not be surprised if the mother's like, "Do not take my daughter to one of these things. The dude is crazy."
Right.
So again, the parallels are there. I loved it. Again, they know how to write those lines for those type of connections. But that wasn't the only big reveal in this episode. Our boy, the A-Train, made a miraculous recovery. And how did he recover? Go ahead.
Dramatic irony. I didn't see this coming. I thought
there was
dead.
no way for anyone to catch it.
But how they solved his death, because he's knocking on death's doorsteps.
Right.
They give him a new heart, a soup's heart, because your powers can only probably work with a soup's.
Makes sense.
Whose heart? Well, the first available, of course. Freaking Blue Hawk's heart.
Which is crazy, because was the heart just laying on the pavement that he obliterated Blue Hawk on?
Because I'm trying to think. He dragged him.
He
not
dragged
on his
him
back, right? Or did he drag him
face down? He
dragged him face down, right?
So his chest is being exposed first as he's obliterated.
I'm guessing his heart made it. His heart made it out.
That's just insane. Because when I need to go back and see the scene, because I thought when A-Train when he stopped, I thought Blue Hawk's entire upper body was just missing, right? Or was
I mean, I feel it was a trail. It was like kind of concave in a way, like it was like forming at a triangle, to where it was like it got narrow. I don't know. I guess it makes sense.
It makes sense. Make it make sense.
To a degree, his heart could have survived the wreckage. It could have survived.
That is bananas. Because now I'm just thinking, the more I'm thinking about it, it's like, so they had to first they had to find out where A-Train and Blue Hawk were.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
By the time they get to where they're at, they have to then return to the hospital or whatever, perform first, see if it's
compatible too.
If it's compatible, and then perform the surgery. Again, there's a lot of leeway in there that you're just supposed to suspend your disbelief. But that just raises so many questions. There was so many signs that A-Train bit the big one in that episode, in the finale from last week. I thought he was dead, and I guess he's not. So he's back. He has a heart now.
I'm looking at it, and because I pulled it up on our TikTok, you can look at our TikTok for more of our quick takes. He's dragging him face down.
Right.
I'm pretty sure. At least, yeah, he's dragging him face down, but when he stops, he's face up. So that means he twisted at some point, because all the scarring is right side up. You know, meaning his back wouldn't be scarred if he was being dragged on the front the whole time. But when he stops, all the scarring is right side up. So that means he flipped them.
Oh, okay.
By the time he stops, he flipped them. So maybe it never reached the heart. His face is gone.
His face is, but you still see his body, like his chest area.
Yeah, you can see it. It's not that deep, but his face is the main thing that got messed up. The face is
gone. Okay.
Like the face is indistinguishable. You cannot, you cannot tell. A coroner or somebody cannot come to this scene and be like, "That's Blue Hawk." You know,
I can tell.
Unless they look for DNA. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I mean, I guess it's At least that part is answered, but then you have the rest of it.
It's just dramatic irony. Like,
yeah, it is.
It's the last heart he wants inside of him.
Right,
you know?
Right. And it's funny because now that he has these powers, you have Ashley just being typical Ashley saying, we're going to have the biopic now of the Blue Hawk making his comeback. This is your dream. Now you can use your powers again. Welcome back to the 7A train. Wait, I said Blue Hawk. I meant A train.
It's okay. It's okay.
Well, I mean, is it wrong though? He's technically Blue Hawk.
And again, they can spin it to some stupidity that Blue Hawk tragically lost. Oh yeah, that's what they did. Right?
Yeah. Ashley,
he lost his life and he saved him, right? From the tried to or something.
Tried to save him, but Ashley knows.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! But also too, it's funny because she's talking about that biopic and she's like, "We're gonna get A-Train to be your coach. He's gonna be your, Blue Hawk to be your coach. We might get Tom Hanks to play him."
Didn't Tom Hanks play a coach in a recent movie or no?
No, not that I can recall, but funny nonetheless.
It was funny. I enjoyed that bit.
Terrible. What else can Vought think of that is just damn right despicable?
Tasteless.
Yes, right.
It fit the MO. And hey, if this brings us back to A-Train being able to use his powers and hopefully changing a new leaf, I hope this is something to wake him up.
Right.
I feel like the guy went out trying to do something, noble. Meaningful to him. Yeah, noble. It still may have been in the benefit of his own interest because it's for a family member that Blue Hawk hurt, but still, like it's a step. It's a step from the selfishness that this guy was, where he was willing to throw anyone he cared about under the bus, including Popclaw from season 1, just to save his own skin. So I think this might be a good stepping stone for the season finale with A-Train. And I don't know, we'll see. That's the only part we see him in, though, too.
Yeah, it's literally the second chance. You died. You are now giving a second chance. What are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna keep doing the same old shtick, or are you gonna go help Starlight go bring down Vought and Homelander and all this? Do the right thing. Do the right thing, A-Train.
And the thing is, before it was revealed to him, I think, when he had Blue Hawk's heart, Ashley told him, hey, you're okay with talking smack about Starlight on Vought NN, right? And he's like, yeah, of course, whatever. I'm like, no, A-Train, stop. Stop and think. But then I think that was when Ashley told him about the heart. I think. I could be wrong. But hey, time for a new leaf for A-Train. Let's hope and see how he comes out in the finale. But on the other side of things, we have the boys on the hunt for Mindstorm. He is the final member of the Payback.
Well,
squad,
other than
Black Noir. So they are on the hunt for Mindstorm, and there's some interesting dialogue that happens here between Hughey, a little bit with Butcher, and even what's his name, Soldier Boy. What I did like was, and I wish they used him a little bit more because this guy is just freaking hilarious. The Legend.
The Legend,
played by do you know
Paul Reiser. Paul Reiser. This guy, I swear
everything that comes out of this guy's mouth in both episodes that he appears in is comedy gold. He's just reminiscing of the good old days, the broads that he knocked up. And he reveals some stuff about Soldier Boy's past. One of the tried and true claims to fame that he has in popular media is he was on Normandy Beach. He helped the Allies storm on D-Day, right? And
yes.
Turns out he wasn't even there. He showed up for photos way later. I think the legend said 2 weeks, right?
Yes,
not fight anyone.
Right. And Hughey rightfully called him out later on that. Yeah, just it's funny. They just write this stuff up for these heroes in this press, and yeah, they just eat it up. He's just a propaganda piece. He's if Captain America never like actually stopped being the propaganda boy and selling, like bonds, right. He is literally that. He could have stormed Normandy.
I'm pretty sure he would have done some work on Normandy.
But no, he's I like how smug he is. He's very funny. He's like, I imagine he would have just, where's the party, everyone? Like, what'd I miss?
Oh, at the end, like in the infirmary after the battle's done.
Right.
People got missing legs, arms, half their heads blown off, and he's just wanting to know where he can get drunk or wasted.
And then he's in the bedroom with the two elderly women. Is it because he's from the past?
What? Oh,
that he's into that.
Well, because he said something like, what, the older they are, the juicier and drier they can be, or something.
Yes.
Don't judge, I guess. Hey, if
I'm not judging, I'm just judging. I was just random, funny.
It was funny. Because you would think, like, yeah, Soldier Boy, he could probably get with, like, a modern age woman from that time period.
Right.
But he's going for the grannies. I'll give it to him. Go
I think they're trying to show he's slowly starting to act like Soldier Boy again. Kind of getting back into the swing of things. Like the first time he hits New York, he's dazed and confused. Second time, he's demanding the food and the drugs, and now he's back, baby. But now shit's starting to kick in for him. They say he might have PTSD, and that was a funny bit too when they first got there, walking through the forest. He's like, "What was that?"
He did that like 4 or 5 times, and you have Butcher and Hughey saying, "We didn't say nothing, mate." It was what's the actor's name? Do you know the actor's name
for Soldier Boy?
For Soldier Boy,
that's Jensen Ackles. That's the dude from what's that show? Supernatural. He's one of the brothers.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not too familiar with Supernatural, but
me neither.
I'm aware of like some of the cast members a little bit.
Yes, he's been around the CW for years.
Goodness. It's his deadpan delivery. I like just his voice and the way he delivers. Like the line you just said, if it was anyone else, I would not have thought it was funny. But the way he says, did you say something? And he just looks at it's just so good. I just love it. And you have this dumbstruck look on the character's faces saying, no, we did. And part of it, originally I was thinking like, oh, maybe because he's more superhuman than the other two, maybe he's hearing something what that Mindstorm is doing. Like maybe it's a Mindstorm trick, because at the time we didn't know too much about his shenanigans. Soldier Boy only told them, don't look into his eyes or don't make eye contact. If you see him. And they asked him why, and he's like, don't worry about it. Just don't look into his eyes.
Don't do it.
Just don't do it and you'll be fine. So I was thinking like, oh, maybe he is actually picking up on something. Hughey and Butcher are thinking that he's going psycho. Like, dude, what's this guy's problem?
He's paranoid. He's definitely paranoid.
Easily. Right.
Yeah.
Now knowing oh my God, I was gonna say Minesweeper. What was his name? Mindstorm. Now that we know Mindstorm's whole shtick, yeah, the guy was paranoid easily. Like he was not hearing real voices, maybe voices in his head, but not like it wasn't actual tangible things happening or going on.
Right.
So Minesweeper,
Mindstorm, goodness.
Mindstorm, he has a level of paranoia as well.
Well, he's bipolar.
He's bipolar, right. And that was one of the things they mentioned earlier, where Butcher was saying this guy has 8 different addresses that you remember. I went to 3 of them. He's nowhere there, which is an element that does not make a total lot of sense, because if Butcher was going to these different addresses by himself, he doesn't know what Mindstorm is going to do to him if he goes there, because he didn't know about his abilities until this current attempt with Soldier Boy. So it's like, what was the goal in sending Butcher out the first 3 times?
I think it was reconnaissance. Just find him. He wasn't supposed to bring him back. He's supposed to be
just
like,
find
hey,
him
there.
and say, hey, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Identify, come back, recon. But
got it.
I don't know. Still kind of going in blind. The logic ain't too much there, but
right.
I like how they tracked him down. They're like, oh, let's cross-reference the pharmacies who's selling lithium.
Mm-hmm.
It was fine, but
it was fine. It got us to where we needed to go. It was an idea from Hughey, using his mind, what he's best at.
It was a nice little idea from Hughey, and the way Butcher looks at him, he's like, "Hi, boy, that's pretty smart. Thanks, Hughey.
Good one,
Good one, Hughey.
Good one, mate."
They're establishing this brother relationship.
It's there.
Which, when we finally have the run-in with Mindstorm, he puts Butcher under.
He does. He makes eye contact with him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I think even Soldier Boy says, "You right." So Butcher goes under, and Hughey tries to wake him up. He can't. Yes. And the only way to wake him up is, well, actually, no, there is no way except for to get Mindstorm and forcefully wake him up. And he asked Soldier Boy, how do we fix this? If we can't get a hold of Mindstorm. And he says, dude, your friend is done. Like, he is going to stay that way until he says something like dehydration. Yeah,
he dehydrate. Yeah.
Right. So that's insane. That's an OP ability. But if you know the gimmick, then it's like a genjutsu from Naruto.
Yes, it is very much genjutsu-esque. Yes.
Right. Mindstorm has the Sharingan confirmed.
Yeah. You can make that comparison. Yeah.
He puts Butcher under, and we finally get to see a visual flashback of what Butcher's childhood was like. I think it's always been alluded to, what his childhood was like, because we did get to meet his dad in season 2.
I could have sworn we met his mom too.
I don't remember meeting his actually, you know what? Maybe we did meet the mom.
Yeah, I had to think about it. I was like, I remember the dog, and then when they showed the flashbacks of the dad, who was played by John Noble, I was like, oh yeah, we did meet him. And then I was like, crap, dang it, I don't remember what happened to the brother. But yes, I looked it up.
We know that he died even in season 2.
Yes, we did meet the mom.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, we did meet the mom, and she told him that the dad had passed away. And then I guess what? This is our first time meeting the little brother, I guess.
This is our first time, I guess, learning the ultimate fate that he did have, because we knew about Lenny the previous season, but now we get concrete evidence of like, this is what happened. This hurt, man. This was a sad backstory for Butcher. You have these childhood brothers looking out for each other, and you have this terrible, terrible father just coming home and beating the crap out of them, essentially.
Because he left his bike in the driveway.
Of all things. I mean, it's ridiculous. And you have, of course, Butcher trying to be the older, bigger brother that shields his little brother from the constant beatings of their father, essentially. And they kind of just fast forward through a lot of like I guess like the filler. Like you didn't need to know how many times that the father would beat them. You just need to know the father is a terrible person and he beats them for just dumb reasons. But then it fast forward to Butcher, you know, leaving the home, and this interaction between him and his brother is just so sad because the brother knows if Butcher leaves, that focus that the dad has on Butcher is gonna then shift to him.
Right.
And it's silly that Butcher doesn't see that. He sees it more as, I'm the one that he hates the most. If I leave, he's likely gonna calm down. If I stay, I'm gonna end up killing him. And both of like, you know, I don't want to do that because then they're gonna throw me in prison. I'm never gonna see you again. And he ran away to what, the military? Is that what he did?
Yeah, I think he like joined or whatever, the British equivalent.
Because he said the barracks, so I assumed it was the military.
But you know, it's interesting because although he has good intentions of leaving, just like a butcher would, he kind of chops up and severs the ties by saying, Lenny, you need to puff up sometimes.
Oh man, that hurt. It's just what his dad told him.
Right. You see him becoming his dad, because what did he strike a teacher?
He like got like a stapler and just went off on a he just struck the teacher.
And he was saying the same stuff that his dad was saying to him.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
And so I get Butcher's plight on why he wants to leave and no longer have the influence. Because I think at the principal, then he's like, you know, you're a smart boy, Billy. You know, you don't have to be like him. You can be better. And this was his opportunity to get away. But yes, in doing so, he leaves Lenny. And
he leaves Lenny.
Lenny couldn't poof up, Lenny.
You can't be a poof all your life.
And see, and then it's layered because this shows why he doesn't stick around with Ryan. You know, Becca and Homelander's kid.
Oh, right.
Because he's gonna butch it up. He's gonna start wailing on this kid.
He butched it right now, like, you know, by severing the tie. He severed the tie with Ryan, saying, "No, I never cared about you. Leave."
Right.
You know. So we haven't seen Ryan since episode 2. I'm surprised they just dropped him off like that completely.
I'm sure he might make an appearance in the finale. You know. Make it a father-son thing. I'll save it, but I get it. And then when Hughey eventually gets the Mindstorm, he's like, please wake up my friend. He's like, your friend? He's a piece of shit.
Why do you want to wake him up?
Right. I've been through his whole mind. He's a piece of shit. Don't wake him up.
Which is funny because, I mean, you assume that was like an instantaneous thing that he did, and he already knows so much about Butcher and the type of person he is. So that was neat. But Hughey tells him he's family.
He's family.
This hurt because they're literally drawing the parallels between little brother Hughey and big brother Butcher.
Right. And actually, Hughey is puffing up.
He is poofing up. He's standing up to Soldier Boy. Even with superpowers, Soldier Boy could snap Hughey in two. And
he said, I'll slap you like Connery.
Oh, was he talking about Sean Connery?
Yes, he's talking about, I'm pretty sure he's talking about Sean Connery. And when he called him out on the Normandy stuff, he's like, see, I told you.
I assumed it was Connery, but I'm like, is that in reference to something? Like, did someone slap Sean Connery at one point for some reason?
Oh, no, I think Sean Connery slapped somebody.
Oh, what? So wait, but Soldier Boy was saying,
I'll slap you like Connery.
But did he
like
mean
Connery slaps?
Oh, I thought he said it as, I'm gonna slap you like I slapped Sean Connery.
Oh, did he say like I slapped Sean Connery?
No, he didn't say like I slap, but he said I'm gonna slap you like Connery. So I thought he meant I'm gonna slap you like the same way I slapped Connery.
Oh, maybe he did.
That's how I read it. But because when I interpreted that way, I'm like, wait, so Soldier Boy slapped Sean Connery? That
He
dude's
might
neck
have.
should have spun around.
True. Yeah.
Unless he
guess
pulled
it
back
wouldn't
his.
be that hard. Yeah.
Right. But Soldier Boy doesn't.
Unless
look
Sean
like the type of
Connery's a
guy.
soup.
Ooh, is that what they're alluding? Ooh, that's one thing they haven't alluded to. Which of our celebrities are souped up?
Right. They could be. Yeah.
That they could be. That will be neat to see. So we have that going on with Butcher, Hughey, and Mindstorm. And it's nice to see that Mindstorm, I mean, he doesn't seem all that terrible. I mean, we don't know that much about his past, but Hughey's begging him, saying, dude, this is my family. Please, can you wake him up? If he was any other suit,
he says, I'll teleport him anywhere you want to go.
I'll teleport you anywhere you want to go. And he does it. He actually does it for him. And that meeting is cut short because Soldier Boy is back on their trail again with he threw like a
knife or something.
Knife, I guess, yeah.
A throwing star. I mean, it wasn't hard. He knew he was going back to Butcher. So
right, exactly. It's not that hard to pinpoint. So yeah, he basically covers Mindstorm's face, to avoid the eye contact. He can't really do anything if you know his weakness. And he kind of forcefully talks Mindstorm into giving up some information. What was the deal with the Russians back then? What happened with me? And Butcher and Hughey are kind of off away from them. Mm-hmm. So their discussion, their conversation is muffled. You don't know what it is. And Soldier Boy doesn't tell them what it was.
Oi, what'd he say?
Stays quiet, keeps walking. Which, by the way, I do want to dial it back a little bit. When Butcher woke up, he was crying.
Oh yeah, yes he was.
He was.
He feels responsible still, yeah.
He feels responsible, and he's telling Hughey, I'm sorry. Now, mind you, it's a little bit, the lines are kind of blurred if he's in hysteria, and he's just saying, I'm sorry to, his brother, which in his dream, they confirmed that his brother killed himself because the beatings continued. They were worsened because he was the only punching bag left. Mm-hmm. And his little brother in his little nightmare sequence is basically saying, you do this to everyone, Butcher. The next one up in the line is Hughey.
It's Hughey.
And he's gonna end up the same way as me. So when Butcher wakes up, he's saying, I'm sorry. And he's looking at Hughey when he's saying that. You could mix it up as he's still in that hysteria of seeing his brother, and he's trying to apologize to his brother. And as he wakes up, turns out he's saying, I'm sorry to Hughey. Or he wakes up, he sees Hughey, and with those emotions still high from his nightmare, he's saying, I'm sorry, Hughey, I'm sorry. And Hughey's like, sorry for what? What's wrong? And I don't know. I like this moment, man, because this is a side of Butcher you do not see a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was fantastic.
It's both. I think it's a layer of both. It's him realizing it's a cycle. He picks people off the streets, brothers them, and then lets them down. So it's an apology to Lenny and eventually Hughey, because later on in this episode, we learned that they have a time clock.
They do have a
counting down.
Right.
Due to Temp V.
Temp V has some scary side effects, ranging from.
I didn't realize when he's like, "There's something in your ear."
Oh, the blood.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah, they've been doing that the last couple of weeks. Like sometimes they would bleed from their ears. I think once or twice it was from their nose. There's clearly some side effects. This is bought. And it's not, approved for distribution. They've been stealing this stuff. So it's something that is still in the testing phases. So there's terrible side effects ranging from like seizures to lesions, tumors. You do not want to pump yourself with this stuff. Unless you want that soup high. It's not worth the trade-off, but you know what?
I don't think so either.
Go for it, I guess. But you know, Starlight, well, we gotta talk about Starlight now, right? Because she had a little bit of an arc before this, you know, revelation about Temp V. Well, with Starlight, you have Kimiko and Frenchie coming back to the hideout with like MM and Starlight, and the squad is kind of coming back together now. I'm glad that they started to reintegrate themselves back into the main plot, because the last couple weeks I just wasn't really too sucked into the whole Kimiko and Frenchie side plot.
Not the side plot, no.
Right.
The side plot we can easily do without.
Right, exactly. Like I liked their development in the side plot. I just wish it was better integrated into the main plot, right?
No,
correct.
No, correct. It would have been much more satisfying to see them, yes, if their development came at the behest of the actual plot of what's going on. So yes, they're back. It's nice to see them get back in the swing of things. But I like Kimiko and Starlight's relationship, you know.
Sister bond.
Oh my gosh. And they even like, Starlight's associated with this known terrorist. And it's a picture of Kimiko.
Yes.
I'm like, I forgot Kimiko got blamed for that one incident where Stormfront killed like the whole family in the apartment building.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That was the first revelation that Stormfront was a terrible person.
Yes,
right?
correct.
Okay. I completely forgot about that. Yeah.
Yes, Kimiko got blamed for that. So yes, it's nice to see. Yeah, they have a little sisterly relationship, and she's like
swapping drinks and.
Oh yeah, she's like, this is the first time. Yeah, well, when's the last time you drank? First time.
First time, and she's wondering she's wondering how Starlight is drinking, you know, straight from the bottle, and she's like, oh well, when you grow up in a small little town, what?
This is all we have to do. This is all we do.
What else? What else is there to do?
Go huck some corn. Go
corn toss.
Yeah, something like that. But we get the revelation that Kimiko. Well, we've been kind of alluded to this, that Kimiko would eventually want her powers back. You know.
Right.
She's already recognized that she's still a monster with or without the powers. But now she doesn't want to be helpless, and she doesn't want to be, most of all, helpless when it comes to the defense of her friends and her family, where, you know, she almost lost Frenchie. So it's quite understandable, her wanting.
I love that.
Yes, it was her choice. It was her choice this time.
It was. You know. And I think there was another layer of that scene with Starlight, because, you know, Starlight initially is saying, no, I'm not gonna do this. You know, we don't know. At first, I have to go back into Vault. I might get caught. We don't know what's gonna happen when you get injected again with Compound V. There's just too many what ifs, and it's too dangerous. And what is it? Kimiko basically says, well, she doesn't say anything, but Kimiko realizes, you know, I knew you were gonna say that, so she typed up a little message for Starlight to read, and it's pretty much the message that you just said right now. You know, it was the first time she felt powerless in a situation. She had no means to really combat the situation as well. And she almost lost someone that was her family. Remember, season 2, she only considered her brother, her lost brother, as her family. Once she lost that, she was destroyed. And then we have Frenchie filling in that gap as mon coeur. And he's the new family. And notice how Starlight, upon reading that message, she did not fight back on it. I think it's because, and there's layers to this. This is why this episode is goated. I'm telling you, this is goated, because she realized from another person's perspective how Hughey must have felt all this time.
Oh.
Do you see? So going back before, Hughey's getting hopped up on Compound V or Temp V, and he's getting superpowers, right?
Oh, right, because Kimiko also says, what are you going to do about Hughey?
What are you going to do about Hughey? And she just, oh my God, there's layers to this. This is why this penultimate, it was a Kimiko and Starlight moment. It was a Starlight and Hughey moment. It was a Hughey moment. Even though Hughey was not there, I mean, to see that we progressed so far. Hughey was powerless, weak, all that stuff throughout the previous seasons. He's building up, finally making a name for himself, gets that all torn down once it's revealed that Nadia is a soup killing people. So now he's like, I feel weak again. Time to get hopped up on V. And he has that conversation last week with Starlight where she says, I thought you didn't have a problem, with me being more powerful than you. And he's like, I don't. Well, actually, I kind of do a little bit. It's complicated, really. I want to be the one to save you. I, for once, have the power to see something where if I see you in danger, I can save your life. I can be the one to be the hero. So Kimiko, when Starlight's listening to Kimiko's story, you have Kimiko explaining to her, I had the power before. I had it. It got taken away from me, and I felt powerless in the face of a situation where it could have ended so much worse. She could have lost Frenchie. She could have lost herself. They both could have died. I think once Starlight read that message, bam, immediate comparisons to Hughey. 10 out of 10. Peel back the layers. This episode was not mid GrandMaster Hoop.
I never called it mid. Not once. I'm here for Kimiko's plight. I understand where Kimiko's coming from. I'm glad Starlight also, understands now more about Hughey. And I think even to a degree too, here Starlight comes from the idolized team she's always fantasize about, becoming a part of, to learning that they're all, questionable people, right, dastardly people. And then, she's out of the superhero game because she doesn't believe there are like any good soups out there. But here's Kimiko, someone who had superpowers, who was actually doing right by her powers, Right. So prediction, if things ever go all well in the world of the boys, and Starlight becomes captain of a superhero team, she's gonna recruit Kimiko. Ooh. If Kimiko would have her. I'm gonna call it right now. So yes.
Are we making predictions?
I mean, that's kind of an end-all be-all prediction. That's if any of them make it out alive.
I have a prediction for the finale. I won't say it yet. I'll save it for the end. We're almost wrapping up anyways, but yes. There's still like one or two more talking points. So Starlight goes into Vought, tries to steal Compound V. Bam! Bumps into Homelander. Oops. I didn't think I was going to bump into you here.
You didn't think I wouldn't know?
The way he delivered, I love it. I love Anthony Starr, man. He's so great. So yeah, what? He's basically telling her, you're going to go to VNN. You're going
tell them you made it all up.
Made it all up. Tell them it was all lies. And then she's saying, no, I'm not going to do it. And Homelander brings up the Hughey bit again. She's like, I remember what I said about Hughey. I'm going to hurt people. I'm going to hurt people if you do not listen to what I have to say. Good on Starlight for having the record button on her phone.
Yes.
Streaming live to all of her followers.
Honey, you know not to record me when we're running lines.
Where are you going? I cannot believe she caught him like that. I loved it.
He's slipping. He is slipping mad hard. Face plant into the pool. He is slipping.
And you have what's his name? Edgar just sitting in the back, just like with his legs crossed. This is what I told you would happen.
Right. Of course. And it's crazy how he's really leaning into Starlight is kind of an anchor for him, you know. I don't know why he needs Starlight so bad to be on his side, but
I think it's just look at what he has left. He only has the deep. That's it. That's a problem.
Not the deep. And the deep, he could care less about. I mean, he claims to care about what's going on, but he'd rather be like, we need to introduce a new partner.
Have you met
Ambrosia?
That was so nasty. I mean, it was kind of numb now because we saw him already do that. But
now he's saying, join us,
have fun. He's like, Ambrosia wants to taste you too.
Taste you.
Oh my god.
Oh, she's like, I'm done. I'm sorry. She's like, how long have you been fucking her?
Well, first of all,
her. Get your pronouns right.
This was hilarious.
A clown, an absolute clown.
He really thinks that he's been getting along on his own without what's her name? His wife, basically, who's been basically puppeteering him the whole time.
Yeah.
Without her, this guy would have just slipped and fell on his face a long time ago. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that again, that goes back to why he's so dependent on Starlight, because he's not gonna be buddy with the deep. He hates the deep. Everyone hates the deep.
Yes.
So
I don't like the deep.
And again, he's trying to project those feelings that he had for Queen Maeve onto Starlight now, because we meet Queen Maeve again. We finally get to see where that resort is for rehab.
She's being kept alive.
She's being kept alive, and this was a sadistic turn of events, right? What is it? Homelander basically asked her.
Oh, he's gonna take her eggs. That's right. Oh my gosh.
It was sick. It was sick.
He's gonna he's like, before you die, I am gonna take your eggs.
No, it's funny before he does that, because he was saying, you know, before all this I imagined us getting together, having kids, nesting. And then Queen Maeve is like, are you gonna, you know, are you gonna do that to me? He's like, oh my God, Maeve, I wouldn't force myself. I'm not barbaric. What are you talking about? But then he spins it back saying,
but I am gonna take your eggs.
I am exactly, which is
and
like,
have them frozen.
That's kind of the same thing in a really messed up way.
It is legit the same thing. Shoot, you could take it as far as, you know, you could take it another layer with recent events. Currently, I mean, this is way too soon.
Oh goodness, yeah. There's no way that is
people
insane.
Making choices for your body.
That is
taking
insane.
the choice from you, right?
In spite of
that was the most
events.
devastating part for her,
right? I mean, she was like, you know, the entire time she's sitting there, basically, kind of, you know, uninterested in what's going on. Whatever he has to say.
She is relishing though that he's bruised.
She's loved. Is that concealer on your face? And he's like,
do you have a bruise? You're scared? Wow.
Maeve, don't you understand? 8 heroes have been killed by your friend.
Butcher and Soldier Boy. I know. Butcher has powers.
I love this interaction. She's relishing this. She is so happy. But then once he brings up the egg bit, that's when the fear sinks in. But she somewhat recovers back and says, even regardless of what you just told me, this is still the best day, top 3 of my entire life. Wanna know why? Because I got to see you scared. Oh my God, it was not mid, Grandmaster Hoop.
I never called it mid.
If you don't say this is great, you think it's mid.
I never called it mid. It was just overshadowed by other things that came out today.
Goodness gracious. We will talk about those other things another time. It got nothing on this, but one last thing. Black Noir. You have it in your
Well,
background.
two things: Black Noir and the twist.
Oh, and the twist. Right. Man, there was a lot. There was so much that happened in this episode. It was not mid, Grandmaster.
I never called it mid, but Black Noir did not see this coming. And I guess the boys have been experimenting with different formats of storytelling. You know, we had the Kimiko musical sequence,
right,
which is great. I love that sequence. That was during Herogasm, right? Yeah, that was Herogasm.
I think.
No. That was the episode before. I'm sorry.
It was before.
Okay. But here we have Black Noir, and we get an inner look at how he operates inside his head. And it's an abandoned Chuck E. Cheese, right?
Yeah, I think
is that what it is?
Bucky Beavers or something. It's essentially the same thing. That's how I.
Right. It's an arcade, right? Because he put coins in the thing too. No.
Did he put coins?
Did he put coins in something?
I don't.
All right, maybe I'm crazy.
I don't think he did. I could be misremembering, but
I did not see this coming. As far as this is how we're gonna learn about Black Noir. He's talking to not inanimate, but he's hallucinating about. Well, he's not hallucinating, but he's just projecting these images of these cartoon characters, these anthropomorphic animals who are like, we gotta dig deep. Irving,
remember when you
burying us too long?
You remember when you hit in the ball pit after you paralyzed that kid? I'm like, what? This was so funny.
And then they're like, we love you, Irving, so we're gonna help you. And they all get in character. They're putting on a play.
This was all voiced by the same actors and actresses that portray the characters. You have the bald eagle, and actually some of the characters somewhat represent what they're supposed to be in reality. So, like for example, the eagle, that soldier boy, you know, Star Spangled Banner, American. The black sheep is Black Noir. You have oh my God, there was someone else.
He beat up his sidekick in the beginning of the play.
Gunpowder,
right. And then Crimson Countess, I think, is a fox.
Yes, because she was like, you know, the attractive one.
Yes.
In the group. This was all just super silly. I love this.
It works though. It still works, you know.
It does. No, it's very effective because, you know, how are you going to learn about a character that just doesn't speak? And we learn, you know, back in first off, before Nicaragua happened, you had Black Noir confronting Soldier Boy, saying, "Listen, man, I wanted to get that role in Beverly Hills Cop. Why'd you tell them all those things about me?" Can you imagine?
Beverly? You mean to tell me Black Noir would have beat out Eddie Murphy for Beverly Hills Cop?
And he tells him, it's like, "Black Noir, you're not funny." Yes, I am. You just gotta give me a boom, 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 boom. This was the best way to tell a story like this. If they knew from the beginning they were gonna give Black Noir a silly like backstory, like I wanted to be part of Beverly Hills Cop, this was the best way to do it. You have these cartoonish animals excessively beating the crap out of each other. I have not seen something so violent in a cartoon since like Drawn Together. I don't know if you ever remember seeing that show.
I know Drawn Together. I've never seen it. That's the one where they're all like actors, but they're all drawn differently.
Yeah, like one's like a superhero, one's a video game character.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, that's it. That show had excessive violence, but this one, this reminded me of Drawn Together.
Gotcha.
This was hilarious, man. Unfortunate too, because you feel kind of bad for Black Noir in a way, because you're like, damn, Soldier Boy just let up off of him.
Well, that's why they didn't like him, because he was beating up Gunpowder because he was late. to the
He was-
training.
Well, for Gunpowder, I may need to rewatch the scene. I thought they were just sparring at first.
I remember something about somebody was late and he punished them, or he was late and they tried saying something to him, and then he just started wailing and going in.
Right.
Well, obviously they're giving reason to why people hate him.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
he sucks. He's the worst.
He is the worst. And this ultimately culminates into their plan in Nicaragua, where they basically plan to give him up to the Russians.
Well, you see Stan Edgar, he's a raccoon.
Oh, right. I think is he a raccoon?
I don't know.
I need
what
to
the
go
heck he
back.
is.
Yeah, I need to go back and see what animal he was. They did a good job casting the characters for the animals that they were supposed to be. So now I want to go back and see what animal he was.
Yeah, no, I can't remember what animal he was, but it was funny. It was good.
It was. And it was a conversation approved by Vought and the other company that Edgar was in charge of. He dropped the name. I don't.
No,
remember.
I think it was the name of Vought before.
Oh,
they
okay.
just shortened it to Vought.
Okay,
it was
got it.
Voughtlin, not Voughtlin, but whatever. It was like Vought, but it was just a longer title.
Okay.
Yeah, at least that's what I took from it.
Right. Edgar's making sure everyone's on board with this.
And they're like, oh yeah, we're in.
Yeah, we want to beat the crap out of him. So we get the scene as to how they were able to subdue him.
And they all teamed up.
They all teamed up, and they were sick of this man's BS. And man, he did not have to do Black Noir like that. It's funny because, when we saw the Nicaragua flashback from before, it was assumed once we saw how messed up Black Noir's face was, we thought maybe he got, napalmed on the side of the head. Like, there was like a napalm strike somewhere nearby.
Right.
Bombing, because there was chaos everywhere. We just thought he just got unlucky and got hit from some shrapnel or whatever. But it turns out when he was fighting Soldier Boy, this dude cooked his head on the side of a burning vehicle and literally gashed out his brains with.
Oh, and he had to pick up his brain and put it back in.
That's insane. That is
kind of sad.
It is sad because you can assume they were still pieces of garbage before this, but there's such a thing as being excessive. And Soldier Boy was just out of his mind. I do not blame them for wanting to get rid of him. They hated him. They hated him so much.
And then I pulled it up right now. Black Noir rubs his head where he put his brain back in.
Oh my God. Oh wait, he actually in reality,
reality, yeah, he's he rubs his head.
Oh yeah, that's right, he does. Because when I saw that scene, I thought maybe that's why he can't speak, because that maybe the part of the brain that got severed is for his speech. So that would have explained it. Yeah, this was all great. I like seeing Black Noir's backstory and it being told through these cartoonish characters. And the Beaver gave that line at the end that you always hear in these inspirational beats in movies and stuff. Is like
about the being brave, right?
Yeah, it's like being brave doesn't mean you don't have fear. Being
brave means you have fear, but still do it. Yeah, do something about it.
I love it. Is he gonna be heroic? I don't know.
Well, leading into the finale, we got some options here. You want to talk about the twist?
Let's talk about it. It's the final thing.
So two phone calls happened. One phone call being Starlight talks to Butcher. She says, hey, if you take 4 to 5 doses, you're gonna die. Which I'm pretty sure they're already past that.
They are 100% past that.
So point. Yeah, they're on the verge, and he does not tell Hughey. So
and he has a moment to tell him,
He does,
Like, he's
and he hesitates. He
conflicting.
hesitates.
Right.
Right. Which it goes to show you might have another Lenny incident. Here he is. He's butching it up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But then the other phone call, Mr. Homelander, you got a call. It's from some guy claiming to be a soldier boy. Like, put him through. And then I guess he just basically is like, change of plans. Because what, at a party he came in a cup?
1980. I came in a cup. And it's something so, like, I don't even remember what it was that, what led to that, but it was basically that he basically busted inside of a cup. He handed the cup to whoever, someone from Vought or whatever, and then they're like, this is going to be the new generation of or the new face of Vought. And then they got rid of Soldier Boy. So he reveals that to him. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, I would have gladly given up my title as the head of Vought if I knew it was gonna be going to someone that was my son. And I don't know, like, you don't know how Homelander's there, just like, I'm expecting him to just say something stupid like, "Daddy," like just something so silly. But this changes everything. This changes though.
Does.
This is going to be an explosive finale because Soldier Boy, now knowing that Homelander is his son, he's gonna set these two up. He's gonna set Butcher and Hughey up. They're gonna go in thinking that Homelander and Soldier Boy and the rest of them are gonna go in and tag team Homelander, but the tables are gonna turn, and now it's Soldier Boy and Homelander versus them two.
And it's interesting also because in the last episode it was oh, so you're the new me, and he's like, oh no, I'm the upgrade. And now I just pulled it up. He was like, had I known, I would have just given you the title,
right,
son, which means he values the father son aspect of it all, and the kind of the passing down, the inheritance of the title, the face of Vought, America's #1 hero.
Right.
And honestly, it's a weird place because Homelander here, he always wanted was a daddy, someone to love him, and that piece of humanity that they talk about, like that the evil Homelander's like, you still have that little piece of humanity in you, that just wants to play catch with daddy. And now he has an opportunity. So yeah, we don't know what's gonna happen because he still wants to kill Black Noir. Black Noir is gonna have to confront him. There's no way Black Noir is siding with Soldier Boy.
Oh yeah, there's no way. I mean, Soldier Boy's not gonna let him side with him.
Right.
He attacked him.
Right. We have Homelander and Soldier Boy probably going to pair up, and yes, get the jump on Hughey and Butcher. Because Soldier Boy doesn't care now that he knows he has a son.
Right.
Like, he can care less about Butcher.
Exactly.
Especially if they kill Black Noir, their deal's up.
Exactly. Right.
But yeah, ahead of the finale, we really don't know who's on whose side right now. There's gonna be a lot of switcheroos, and it's gonna culminate into something big. Because we also got, like we said, Frenchie and MM found, or they're looking for that thing that could put Soldier Boy to sleep. But will they get there in time?
They have to go to Russia. And
right. They got to go back to Russia.
I don't know if that's going to be a quick, swap in of like how quickly they can go there, come back, or if they find like a more reasonable way to acquire that gas to put out Soldier Boy. I'm calling it now. Hughey's dying in the finale.
Ooh,
I'm calling
Hughey.
it now. I think things have been gearing up for him to bite the big one. I feel like his character arc is about to culminate into the finale where I can see him. I can see if Butcher either A, doesn't soup him up, I could see him still going into the final fight, whatever that is, and jumping in to save either Butcher, Starlight, and biting the big one, with or without powers. Because it's going to be something where he's going to be dying happy saying, look, I saved you guys. I saved you. And that's all I ever wanted. Oh my God, he's dying. He's dying next week.
I will say this. We don't know how much Compound V Starlight grabbed. You know.
Oh, right, because she went to get Compound V for Kimiko.
And then she also, but we saw the Temp V, so we know she didn't grab any Temp V.
Right.
But with that said, part of me feels, what if that one of them took Compound V? You know?
Yeah, they haven't established what would necessarily happen. You know, like if you take, what's the point of taking Temp V if you could just take Compound V?
Well, Temp V is what it is. If you don't want to be a superhero or have superpowers.
Right, because we've seen, at the very least, you know, Kimiko getting Compound V, and she's gonna get her powers back. You know, she's gonna be she's not gonna die in the process. But we also see Nadia's daughter. She also injects her with Compound V. We don't see the results of that, but she likely survived, and now her daughter has powers, whatever those are. So yeah, they could do something with Compound V instead of just using Temp V. I don't know. We'll see. I think regardless of whether or not they soup up with V or Temp V, Hughey's dying. This is for this to be the best finale ever, his death needs to be on plastered on the door. I'm telling you.
If you want this to be the best finale ever, MM's gonna have to take Compound or Temp V and join the fray.
All to do like the whole tree. You want the boys to go.
Well, that's what Toasty says happens in the comics, is that they all eventually take some. But for MM's character, you know, here's Soldier Boy coming for blood or whatever. And if he's truly trying to save his friends above his revenge,
right,
and that agent doesn't work, this might be the time he has to do it. You know,
this might be.
And you know, he's all about taking the high road. I think we're gonna see him not take the high road, at least this once.
Just this once. They're gonna need all the help they can get, because if Soldier Boy is teaming up with Homelander, they're gonna need everyone.
Correct.
I can see Hughey, Butcher, MM, maybe even Frenchie. I don't know. Maybe. No. Mostly
depends
MM.
on how big of a battle. Depends on how big of the battle.
I see more MM coming in here to do some dirty work. This episode was fantastic. From beginning to end, it was not mid, GrandMaster.
I never called it mid. I never called it mid. You're confusing these people. They think I called it mid. I never once, ever.
This episode was just fantastic.
It was good. It was good.
I'm very hyped going into the season finale. And I want to know where they're going to go from here, because they're already greenlit for a season 4.
And they start filming in August.
They start filming in August, and you know they cannot keep the boys going without Anthony Starr as Homelander at the forefront.
Unless he gets usurped by Soldier Boy.
I mean, even then, I love seeing it, to see Homelander and just the chaos. And I mean, I get it, you know, things are boiling up, you know, something's got to happen in this finale, and something will happen. We don't know what. We don't know if it's just Hughey dying, if anyone's going to die. Homelander's going to die. Maybe Butcher, I don't know. Soldier Boy, there's a mix of a lot of things.
We're going to see the biggest clash of... Right, because now with the capability of being able to fight on par with the soups, we're going to see the biggest clash. Calling that right now. Don't know about deaths. I'm calling the clash.
I'll put money on deaths. Hughey's biting the big one. We will
All right.
reconvene next week, and I'm telling you, and this is not me like having read any. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah, you're fine.
I have no idea. I read a really cool comparison where apparently the way the boys happened was I'm sorry, the comic was Homelander was made from Stormfront's DNA, and he had sex with Soldier Boy. In the comic, they reversed those roles in the show where Homelander was born from DNA from Soldier Boy and he smashed Stormfront. So they reversed it. What?
They didn't say Stormfront though. They mentioned a girl in the scene. Just some random girl. Soldier Boy. About? The mother of
No. I mean in the comics. And I haven't read the comics. I just saw this comparison be made. In the comics, Soldier Boy was Homelander was made from the DNA of what's her name? Stormfront.
Stormfront's not a girl in the comics.
Is he not?
No, Stormfront's a boy in the comics.
Oh, it's probably the same thing then.
They gender swapped it.
Yeah, they gender swapped it. So he came from Stormfront. Smashed Soldier Boy in the comics. Reverse now on the show, he came from Soldier Boy's DNA. He smashed Stormfront, who got gender bent into a female.
Gotcha.
So I thought that was kind of cool. But that's all I know about the comic. I don't know anything.
Yeah, I try not to look too much.
I don't like it either. I think the show, in my opinion, again, I haven't read the comic, but I think the show is better than the comic. From what I've heard, how the comic tells its story, I think The Boys has done it phenomenally better. I believe I would be more satisfied with what we're given here in the show versus what's depicted in the comics. I think this show is probably the best superhero medium around right now. Ooh.
Like, I don't think anyone has, well, especially when talking series. For 3 straight seasons, no one has been more consistent.
Very, very consistent. I'm hyped for season 4. We'll see.
Yeah.
But that's all we have to say, right? Nothing much else in this episode.
Nope, we got it all.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. There's our penultimate take on the episode 7 of season 3 of The Boys. Let us know what you all think in the comments down below, wherever you're listening to us on, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, at the Yonkō Table. Give us a like, give us a shout out, let us know what you all think. And if you want to continue the conversation, don't forget to join our Discord server. More information on that in the link to Patreon down below. But with that, everyone, I'm your Yonkō host, DrJaceAttorney, and fellow Yonkō Grandmaster Hoop, signing off, and take care.